Hi, welcome to this week's episode of Ref Lounge, and as you'll see, I'm on my own. I'm Simon Hall from Keys to Football. Not too many games this weekend, only the three, losing Man City, West Ham to the weather. So we're going to start with Everton Crystal Palace, refereed by David Coote, and there isn't too much to discuss in this particular game, okay? He actually allowed the game to flow on this one, and it's one of those things with referees on what do they do. They will referee what the players actually dictate. So if they're kicking lumps out people, you'll find he'll get a very stop-start game. If they just want to play football, you'll find the referee allow things to go. And I felt he had a chance here to allow the game to go. He allowed the game to breathe, and that was a really, really good positive step. Now, one of the main talking points over it was a particular a penalty appeal on here to Crystal Palace. Now, as you actually look on here, he's got a really clear view straight into it, okay? So he's got an absolutely fantastic angle on there. We've actually noticed he's actually changed because where he originally was here. So this is as the ball spills, but then he gets closer. So if you actually look at that, he's got a great angle on there, sees that the ball spilt, and then his next movement is the fact that he's on the edge of the area. Well, this is priceless because he's now so much closer. He's got a great angle on it, and as we all know, he didn't give the penalty. This then went into the middle. There was a foul then against an Everton player, which at this point is where he's surrounded by players screaming for a penalty, which I don't get. Why are we surrounding the referee when we clearly know that in the Premier League you've got the luxury of VAR, and then he has to point to his finger, and that's it, back off, okay? So straightforward on there, they completely backed him, and rightly so. It wasn't a penalty, and it was a really, really good decision, okay? But something I want to show different referees, so if you're new or you're going on the career path for the first time, anything like that, is this, okay? This is something that's really, really impressive, okay? So if I press on there, you'll see here is Everton break where David Coote is. Okay, now watch the length of his stride as he's running, and then if I pause it there, his angle on that, okay? So this has started from the edge of his area, and it's really worth watching this because it's on the opposite area, okay? Let's press play on that. And if you actually look at this, look, he's here, okay? This is Richarlison, who's a very, very fit lad, and look at the speed that he's actually working at to get in there. That is one amazing dynamic sprint, okay? It's absolutely fantastic, so well done to him. Brighton versus Watford, okay, so this was refereed by Kevin Friend, okay, and there's only a few little things to actually look at on this particular game as well, so it was an actually really good weekend. But what I wanted to do was just pull this one up here, because just as a little thing for your Saturday, Sunday, midweeks, on here, as you've got a Watford player putting his foot out as the keeper's about to release the ball. That's actually a yellow card, okay? So it's an offence to prevent the keeper from releasing the ball. But the difference is on here, that ball gets away and actually creates an attack. So Kevin doesn't need to stop play on there. But if he's stopping play because of that, then he would be issuing a yellow card. So just thought I'd put that one actually in there for you. The other one, which was this is quite interesting. This is on here. Now this was a huge penalty appeal. Look at the appeal. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players all with their arms up. I mean, literally shouting for a penalty on here, which goes to VAR when it's not. You can see why it's given, but why they're shouting for it. But no, it was straight into his stomach. And this is one of the things referees, so it's dead easy from the sideline, thousands of referees on the sidelines, not actually refereeing games, to say that this is it and we should have had it. And we used to have talks after the game prior to VAR saying, oh, should have given it, and all this type of thing before you even know. And the thing is that shows how hard it is. They're trying to influence the referee to give a penalty when they must have known that it wasn't. But there's 5 of them who actually do believe that it is. So that's how hard being a referee is. The other side of Kevin's game is you've got to look on here. If you actually notice where he is on this actual particular run on here. So he's come across that way, and he's heading here. But look where he finishes up. He's looking straight forward in there. The thing is what he's looking at on there is a couple of different things. One, he's looking to see if there's a foul, so he's come around play. but he's also looking to see if there's any fingertips on the keeper, so he knows. So it literally corner or goal kick makes a decision by such hard work, and that's what's so important about being a referee and getting the right positions. It's hard work. Okay, the one thing that was the interesting one on the penalty shout was this particular one on here. Now this is hard for Kevin to give in any time, but just to give you an idea how VAR works, he would have been talking to the VAR on that one, saying he believes he's tripped over his own leg, which if you actually look on there, he has tripped up over his own leg. Now the bit that isn't, is there a light graze? Now if you say, is there one? We don't know, we're not too sure. It looks like there is, and there is possibility on there, so that's instant doubt, so therefore it's not a penalty. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how that actually worked on there. But another great game. Sheff United and Bournemouth, hardly anything to discuss on this particular one. The one on here where the 2 feet went up, it caused a clash, and then you had Chris Wilder from Sheff United and the Bournemouth player going a bit of head-to-head on there. Quite rightly both receiving yellow cards for adopting an aggressive attitude on that one. So that was really, really good on there. But it was a nothing. It was literally, you see it, that both get each other on the feet that come up, and it's very, very evident actually on there that both feet were up together. Something I just wanted to hit on though, which is kind of key on this one, and I've got to praise John Moss for this, because I watched this particular game all the way through. Okay, and Bournemouth stayed down a lot yesterday. Okay, they went down for the slightest thing and they stayed down a lot. Now, was it a tactic? Was it they trying to slow the game down? John Moss, I've got to give total credit here, didn't fall for it. The amount of times he left players on the deck who amazingly just got up and then run themselves back in there. I just thought it was fantastic. And to notice this, well, I just think it was just something about it on there is the fact that referees out there are trying to be conned each and every week at all different levels of the game, and people have a right go at them when they're conned. So when a player does something that cons a referee, they have a go at the referee for being conned, not the player for what they've done. But yesterday I felt in the Bournemouth game, for some reason Bournemouth was staying down a hell of a lot when they didn't need to, and I've got to give credit to John Moss there for turning around and saying no, get on with the game. Only 3 games this week. Hope you found it useful. Obviously a lot more games next weekend, and Keith will be back, so thank you.